for ditching us after just a few minutes. It's still nice to look out and be able to say hello to people. So welcome. If you will please join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Buffy.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Losi.
Here.
Councilmember Stanfield.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent.
Here.
Mayor Long.
Here. All right, we have several proclamations and a recognition tonight. Our first one is recognition of Driver of the Year 2022, Ricardo Ariondo. Kinda? Close? All right, so we have... It just says, Certificate of Recognition, the City Council of the City of Fortuna recognizes Ricardo as Regional Commercial 2022 Driver of the Year by the National Waste and Recycling Association. It was signed in April because he missed last meeting, but we are glad you are here tonight and that we actually get to meet you, and thank you for being safe out there on the roads, and congratulations.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the recognition. Rick's a great guy.
Our next proclamation is National Police Week, and Mike Losi is going to read that one for me.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am proud to read the proclamation in recognition of the National Police Week, May 15th through the 21st. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which that date falls on is National Police Week. And whereas law enforcement officers are guardians of life and property, defenders of the individual rights of a free people, soldiers in the war against crime, and dedicated to the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas it is known that every 2 days an American police officer dies in the line of duty, our community joins with other cities and towns to honor all peace officers everywhere. And whereas the City of Fortuna desires to honor the valor, service, and dedication of our police officers, and now therefore Sue Long, Mayor of the City of Fortuna, proclaimed the week of May 15th to May 21st, 2022 to be National Police Week, and call upon all citizens to give special honor and sincere appreciation to the police officers of this city by deed, remark, and attitude. I further call upon our citizenry to make every effort to express our gratitude to the men and women who make it possible for us to leave our homes and families in safety each day and return knowing they are protected by people willing to sacrifice their lives, if necessary, to guard our loved ones, property, and government against all who would violate the law. This is signed the second day of May 2022 at the City of Fortuna in the state of California, and in the witness thereof. Signed, Mayor Long, Mayor of Fortuna.
Who is going to accept this one? So we do have 6 of our officers here, well, 5 in our police chief, our lieutenant. So let's just give them a big hand for all they do.
Lieutenant Eberhardt, and thank you on behalf of the department. I thought it was very fitting that Councilman Losi read this proclamation as he served himself. So thank you for that. We're grateful for the community we live in, that we do feel that gratitude from the city and from our community here. And thank you for honoring those that have made the ultimate sacrifice and those that continue to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate all you guys coming tonight. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah.
All right, our next one is 53rd Annual Municipal Clerks Week Proclamation, and Sienna Emmons is our city clerk, Buffy is our deputy city clerk. Sienna is sick today, so Buffy will be accepting this on both of their behalfs. City of Fortuna Proclamation in recognition of the 53rd Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 1st through May 7th, 2022. Whereas the office of Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Therefore, I, Sue Long, Mayor of Fortuna, do recognize the week of May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerks, Sienna Emmons and Buffy Gray, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Signed this second day of Fortuna, or second day of May in Fortuna. Buffy, do you want to say something?
Thank you very much for the recognition.
That's our Buffy. So I do have a short statement from Sienna. She was sick today, and so she was unable to be here. She says, I am extremely proud to work for the city of Fortuna. I'm passionate about my work and being a municipal clerk. Many of my goals are in alignment with the City Clerks Association of California's mission statement, including promoting clerks through education, support, and communication. I appreciate having such a dedicated and reliable deputy clerk, Buffy Gray, and would like to thank her and all the other city staff, Katie Smith, Alex Service, and Kathy Rexford, who work in the clerk capacity for various boards and commissions. I look forward to continuing to serve the citizens of Fortuna and the council. Sienna Emmons. All right, our next one is National Bike Month Proclamation, and I think we have some students here that would like to talk. So after the proclamation is read, I'll bring it down to you and shake your hands and hand it to you. And then if you want to come up to the podium and say a few words, as many of you as want to, that would be awesome. Jeremy's going to read this one for us.
All right, National Bike Month, May 2022. Whereas bicycle travel is an effective means to improve air quality, reduce traffic congestion and noise, increase physical activity, and improve public health. And whereas bicycling is part of the solution for addressing transportation needs, limiting impacts to infrastructure, as well as conservation of energy. And whereas bicycle commuting benefits both employees and employers through better employee health and fitness, reduced vehicle commuting, parking, and healthcare costs, increased employee productivity, and there exists a strong relationship between the City of Fortuna and the Fortuna Elementary School District to create safe routes to school. And whereas a bike park and bike skills course have been built within the City of Fortuna at Newburgh Park, and whereas the City of Fortuna is involved in planning and building additional bike lane and trail infrastructure, which would increase bicycle commuting and recreation opportunities for Fortuna residents. And whereas the City of Fortuna has received statewide recognition for extending the school zone and reducing the speed limit to benefit all schools. And whereas the month of May is National Bike Month, which promotes the bicycle as a means of transportation and recreation. And May is also Clean Air Month, which promotes air quality. And whereas the City of Fortuna is hosting a kids' bike rodeo event at Newburgh Park on Saturday, May 14th, and whereas Bike Month Humboldt features a number of cycling events for riders of all ages and skills to enjoy throughout the month at various locations. And now, therefore, on behalf of Mayor Sue Long of the City of Fortuna, do hereby proclaim May 2022 as National Bike Month throughout Fortuna and urge all citizens to support and participate in activities that contribute to the health of the community and the environment. Signed this second day of May 2022 in the City of Fortuna.
Hello, my name is Mason Cahill. I'm the ASB Spirit Leader. Bike to School Day started in 1997 as a way to bring awareness for the need for safe ways for people in a community to bike or walk to work or school. It also brings awareness to the importance of exercise.
Hi, my name is Chloe Dorner, and I'm the ASB Event Coordinator. Biking and walking to school helps students to incorporate the regular physical activity we need each day while also forming habits that can last a lifetime. Regular physical activity helps students build strong bones, muscles, joints, and decreases the risk of obesity.
Hi, my name is Gracie Olson, and I'm the ASB Secretary. Sometime in May, Fortuna Middle School will be participating in Bike to School Month. Students will be encouraged to bike, scoot, roll, or walk to school. Students who participate will earn middle money to spend at the FMS Student Store. Thank you for inviting us to your City Council meeting.
Cameron Mull, Parks and Rec Director. I just want to take a moment to reiterate what's in the proclamation. Thank you for May is Bike Month, about our Kids Bike Rodeo, which again will be next weekend, next Saturday, May 14th. It'll be from 10 to 1 at Newburgh Park. And this is an opportunity for 5 to 12-year-olds to come and learn basic skills so that they can get confident and comfortable riding around in the streets and feeling like they can commute to school. There'll also be bike licensing there. We'll have Sport and Cycle there. They will be repairing any bikes that are in need. Everyone who arrives that does not have a helmet will get a free helmet. We'll also have a raffle and a giveaway for a bike that was donated by Sport and Cycle. So we hope to see everybody next Saturday, Newburgh Park, 10 to 1 for the bike rodeo. I've got some flyers here. I'll just put them over here by the agendas in case anyone wants to grab one. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Cameron. Did anyone else want to comment on this? Jana, are you leaving? Okay. All right, thanks, you guys. Thanks for speaking. All right, our next one is a proclamation for Go Slow, Watch the Road. City of Fortuna proclamation in recognition of Go Slow, Watch the Road campaign. Whereas Humboldt County ranked #1 out of 58 counties for traffic collisions involving a pedestrian, according to data in 2018, has fatal collision rates double the national average and nearly triple those of California. And whereas effective transportation safety policies include a multifaceted approach, including infrastructure development and improvements, enforcement of the laws and education, and the personal responsibility and behavior of those who use streets. And whereas drivers have an inherent responsibility to maintain a culture of respect and courtesy, avoid causing harm, and protect the community's most vulnerable residents. And whereas Humboldt County residents pride themselves on being values-driven, innovative, and proactive problem solvers who are responsive and responsible protectors of the community's residents and visitors. And whereas national statistics and local experience indicate that low-income people, people of color, older people, and people with disabilities are more likely to be killed by traffic collisions while walking or biking, and the countywide Traffic Safety Task Force is committed to addressing these tragic inequities. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Fortuna recognizes that safely navigating our streets and sidewalks is a cooperative activity and traffic collisions are not inevitable. The Go Slow, Watch the Road campaign created by the countywide Traffic Safety Task Force brings the City of Fortuna together with other local communities in adopting the goal to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, health, and equitable mobility for all. Signed this second day of May 2022 at City of Fortuna. I think Brendan Bird is accepting this one.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to accept this proclamation and to acknowledge the goals and efforts of the Humboldt County Safety or Traffic Safety Task Force. It's really great to see, our citizenry and everybody taking a moment to acknowledge the safety on our local roads. I know I can speak on behalf of the Public Works Department and the Police Department when I say we have and will continue to do what we can to do projects and promote enforcement and to increase safety on our local roads, but it's always going to be incumbent on all of us as users of our infrastructure to keep it safe and to keep all of each other safe as we're using it together. So, as it said here in the proclamation, go slow and watch the roads, and let's all do our part to keep our citizens and ourselves safe. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendan. All right, we have one more. Kiwana's 80th anniversary proclamation, and Mike Johnson's going to read this one for me.
Yes, last but certainly not least, and I'm proud to read this as a Kiwanian myself, and my wife is 2 weeks ago was inducted.
You can present it if you want to,
Okay.
since you're a Kiwanian.
So thank you. And in recognition of the 80th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna, whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna was established on May 5th, 1941, and has served the communities of the Eel River Valley for the past 80-plus years. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna has worked with local schools to better meet the physical and academic needs of children, including the kindergarten book distribution program, providing refurbished bicycles for children who otherwise would not have access to a bike, and scholarships to graduating seniors. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna has partnered with the Rotary Club of Fortuna and Seroptimist International of the Eel River Valley to help fulfill unmet needs within the local community. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna has partnered with Food for People and Lolita School District to provide weekend bags of food for children in need. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna, working with the city, has provided manpower to assist with the 3rd of July Children's Games. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna over the years has donated thousands of dollars in support of youth sports teams and activities throughout the Eel River Valley. And whereas the Kiwanis Club of Fortuna conducts the annual Rodeo, Auto Expo, Pancake Breakfast, Quartermania, and the 4-H Spaghetti Feed, raising thousands of dollars for the youth of the Eel River Valley. And whereas Kiwanis Club of Fortuna supports the annual Fortuna Fire Department Santa Sleigh Project. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, Sue Long, Mayor of the City of Fortuna, proclaims appreciation of the Fortuna Kiwanis Club and all they do for our community. Signed this 2nd day of May, 2022, City of Fortuna, State of California. Sue Long, Mayor, City of Fortuna.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, thank you very much for the recognition. It's such a pleasure to work with the city and other community organizations in fulfilling the needs of children in the community. That's what the Kiwanis Club is all about. Thank you once again for the proclamation.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, that was the fun stuff. Okay. Thank you, all of you who helped read proclamations. That was a lot all in one night, and no one wants to hear my voice that many times, so thanks. Oral comments from the public. If anyone has any comments of anything that's not on the agenda tonight, now would be the time to come up to the podium. Instead, we have mass exodus. Good night.
Good night.
All right, well, seeing people going out the door instead of up to the podium, we will close public comment and move on to our consent calendar. We have 5 items. Does anyone wish to pull any of them? We have city council minutes, report of disbursements, approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Fortuna and the Mad River Girls Fast Pitch Softball Association for park facility use, awarding a professional service contract to GHG for the 12th Street Stormwater Enhancement Project, approving the updated Humboldt County Drug Task Force Memorandum of Understanding between participating agencies. Does anyone wish to pull anything?
C and E.
All right, Tammy, what's C?
C is the memorandum of understanding with softball. So I just wanted to ask, because I believe in men's softball, it says they have exclusive rights to the field. So I want to find out, I didn't see it in here, but I want to make sure that it's not exclusive, that the fields can be used when they're not using it.
That's correct, and in the MOU, it does state that the fields can be used for city purposes, and because that their use will not conflict with our adult league softball use, it'll be a non-issue. So essentially, when they finish their season, we go right into our adult league, so there is no conflict of field space.
Okay, what about the youth games? If they don't have games there, can the youth have games there?
Yeah, the field, if they're not utilizing any field space for what their needs are for games or practices, then it's up for grabs for any other user if they want to utilize the fields.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Since we're on that, the MOU, under license permits and taxes, it says contractor shall obtain, and I think, is that a typo? Should that be association?
You're correct.
Buffy?
That should say association.
Okay.
I can change that before we send it off to be signed by the city manager and the president.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
So I want to know who put this one in here. Quality of food. Association shall put forth an effort to serve high-quality, attractively prepared, and wholesome food, beverages, confections, and other healthy options. Do you guys know what a snack shack is?
That's fancy wording, isn't it? We're not gonna really enforce the foods that
Why did we put
they're
it there?
making. Yeah, they're gonna eat nachos and cheese and chips, that's fine. We're just trying to encourage them, since these kids are playing sports, to offer some healthy alternatives. So hopefully, a child will grab that, granola bar instead of the nacho cheese chips before they play a game, but it's just an encouragement piece, and it's in most of our MOUs, so I figured we'd carry it over.
So no kale.
Well, at least I got a kick out of reading my packet when I got to that part. All right, any other questions on C? All right, Tammy, you had E?
Yes, E is approving the update or updated Humboldt County Drug Task Force Memorandum of Understanding. I just wanted to let everybody know that the funding for that was reallocated by the Board of Supervisors for another year. So we're very happy to have that, and thank you to all the supervisors for approving that. We were a little bit worried about it for a little bit, but we're very happily going to be able to fund that another year. So that's it.
Anyone else on item E or any other item? All right,
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks. Moving on to city council business, we have the second reading, which is use of military weapons policy. Who's taking this one?
I'll take it. Thank you, Mayor Long, City Council. So this is the third time this item has come before you. The first was a submission of a draft policy, and the council conducted the first reading of the ordinance adopting the policy at your last meeting. Again, this is one of the state mandated police transparency bills. It went into effect this past January, and it essentially obligates the city to have a council-approved policy with respect to the use and acquisition of military equipment, as that term is defined very broadly in the bill itself. If there's any questions, I'm happy to address those. But again, this is the ordinance that the council conducted a first reading of at your April meeting, and staff is recommending that you conduct the second reading and adopt the ordinance tonight.
So we kind of went over this last meeting. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. I wasn't here for the last meeting.
this is true.
Can I still vote for the second, or do I?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone from the public have any comments on this item? All right, seeing none, we'll close public comment. Back to the council.
I'll make a motion to conduct the second reading and adopt ordinance 2022-753 and by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Buffy?
Ordinance 2022-753, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna, California, amending Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Fortuna Municipal Code by adding Section 2.10.150, military equipment, approving a military use policy, and determining the ordinance to be exempt from CEQA. Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Losi?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Long?
Yes. Thank you, Buffy. Moving on to our second item, it's the first reading for a zoning map amendment.
Liz Shorey, our Deputy Director of Community Development, will be providing the staff report.
Honorable Mayor and council members, so we have two actions for you tonight in this one agenda topic. The first one is, and they're related obviously, to amending the land use. The first action is amending the general plan land use map from residential low to residential medium. That's by the resolution that's in your staff report. And then the second is the zoning map amendment from residential single family to residential multifamily, and that is by ordinance, which is also attached. So the applicant has requested a rezone of his property at 806 13th Street from R16 to RM in order to convert the existing residence to a fourplex. The city is in support, and staff also recommends adding the neighboring parcel located to the west, 809 12th Street, as it makes sense. It's functioning as a fourplex currently and would make sense to include that into the rezone to RM. Both parcels are located on the north side of N Street. And Buffy's going to turn on the overhead, and I'll show you the location map and the other maps that are also in your staff report. So both are located on north side of N Street between 12th and 13th. That's on the north side of the downtown area, one block up from Main Street. So this site is in between, it straddles the R16 single-family zoning on the north side. That's the older part of the downtown area. And then the downtown retail commercial zoning on the south side of this parcel. So it would add a multifamily zoning to that area, and we feel that, I think it will demonstrate that it does create an appropriate transition between those two land uses where it makes sense and utilizes, kind of makes the best use of those large craftsman-style buildings to add a little bit of density while still maintaining the integrity of the R16 zoning. Let's see. What can I discuss without using the map? So the parcels are really similar. They're both 6,600 square feet in size. Again, as I mentioned, the craftsman-style buildings are really similar, really appropriate for 4-unit buildings. There we go. There's our overhead. That's the location map, and you can see that the two parcels are highlighted in yellow there. Fronting N Street, 13th Street is on the right side of the border of those two parcels, and then 12th Street is on the left. So you can just kind of see that, this is in between, kind of straddles in between the historic residential downtown single-family zone to the north, and then the downtown retail commercial to the south. Especially on N Street, you do see really a mix. So N Street is already a transition relating to the types of land uses, a blend of single-family, multifamily, and commercial uses on N Street. So this really just kind of fits in with those uses. Oh, I go this way. What's that? Here we go. So this is just a aerial view showing the parcels under consideration, located on N Street, 6,600 square feet in size, both parcels, and then the alley, there's an alley separating the two as well, and the alley also provides access to the sides of those parcels. The site on the left on 12th Street is developed with a fourplex. It's a legally non-conforming use, and it would continue in this manner under the rezone. And then the parcel on the right is 806 13th Street. It is developed with a single-family residence that's operated as a group care home in the past, and it most recently been used as a single-family residence, which is a principally permitted use under the R16. The rezone to multifamily would, as proposed, the applicant proposes a fourplex, and that would also, actually, that would be a principally permitted use of the RM zone. No new construction is proposed, but again, that building would be converted to a fourplex internally, so the exterior of the building would remain the same in that craftsman style. And it shows the land use of the parcel. It is currently R16, and you can see R16 is to the north and on the sides, and then the retail commercial downtown zone is to the south. So, you can see that what this would do is just the block that's highlighted would be rezoned to multifamily, and that would create the transition between the two, R16 and the downtown. And this shows the existing development. So each parcel is developed with a two-story craftsman style structure, that really complements the period architecture of the, sort of historic residential area to the north, and also fits in with the downtown zone. And so because of that craftsman style, it creates a really smooth transition between the zones. So it still fits in with the R16, the single-family zoning, so you're not going to change the appearance of those structures. And at the same time, it increases the density. So, it's really a useful way to create higher density, converting an existing craftsman, and creates affordable housing without undergoing new construction, without creating an overly dense development. This fills the kind of a niche or a demand for affordable housing and in a walkable area. So, with the affordable housing issues that are going on, this is really becoming more of an apparent demand, or filling a need in cities throughout the country. It's actually, there's a name for it. It's called the missing middle. So it's a type of housing that has been kind of neglected. In the post-war era, the zoning really went from a blend of densities, especially around, the older urban core, to a more strict commercial, and then either, single family, and then relegating multifamily into kind of outlying areas, and, not as really recognizing the need for multifamily. So with affordable housing now being such a big topic, cities are looking for ways to easily create affordable housing, and this is one of the ways, so it's walkable. There's, tons of services that are just, there's the commercial, businesses, restaurants, stores, the park is nearby, transit is nearby, and people, there's definitely a demand by a certain group, maybe small families or single person families, or families with small kids who are, maybe, waiting or working to maybe save up to buy a house, or maybe they just want this kind of simpler lifestyle. So it's definitely, we work with people who are kind of looking for this type of housing, And, with this request for the rezone, it just kind of fit in with something that we've already been discussing at a staff level. So we're kind of excited to see it. And then to have that, the residents next door that fits in, we thought this would be a really good example to promote and to kind of support. This did go to the Planning Commission and as a recommendation, and they did vote to recommend that the council adopt the amendments. It was voted 4-1, and the one dissent was basically due to parking concerns. We evaluated the parking and looked at the demand. There is basically a shortage of parking on site. If we look at the code does allow staff level variance if there's a finding made that, the need is reduced or, there's provision of parking that it won't create an impact. And basically, so the existing fourplex on the right is currently operating with 4 parking spaces on site. And they've got, both parcels are located on corners with ample parking on N Street and then on they're on their side streets. There's up to 7 spaces on the street and then 3 to 4 spaces on site. So with the 4 units, at the most probably having 2, up to 8 or 2 spaces per unit, 8 spaces, but we count, 11 on the streets. So we think that, especially with this being in a walkable area, that, the types of renters that would occupy the sites, most likely there would be the reduced demand. And the one house that's currently a fourplex is, clearly they've got fewer than 8 cars. So that kind of demonstrates that it would work there. So that was the one issue that did come up at the Planning Commission. And the applicant did submit some floor plans. It kind of, I think, shows, that there is ample room on the site for, this is the first floor, and they're proposing a three-bedroom and then a 2-bedroom. And same with the second floor. So they are not proposing any exterior remodeling at this point. And so basically that's it. This is the exhibit, the general plan amendment that is in your packet that goes with the resolution from residential low to residential medium. And then this is the zoning map amendment that is with the ordinance. We did send out property notices, the 300s that were mailed to the property owners. And it was published in the Times Standard and posted on the website and out at City Hall. And there were no members of the public, no comments were submitted, and nobody attended the hearing. So we think that it's an appropriate use, and we do recommend that you approve the amendments. So I'll pass that back to the council.
Thank you, Liz. Anybody have questions?
Yes, I do. With regard to 809 12th Street, wasn't that either a new construction or a remodel?
Fire burned down, they rebuilt it.
And it burned, yeah, and then rebuilt, and the city then gave them a non-conforming
Right.
permit, and that's
Yeah.
how that got to be a fourplex within a 1R6.
Right. It was a fourplex previously, and then they did submit some documentation that conformed or that followed our code that allowed it to be a legally non-conforming use. So they rebuilt it as a fourplex.
Okay, so this will move it from the R16 into a multifamily?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Does anyone from the public have any comments on this item?
Honorable Mayor, Council, Walt Wilson, Fortuna resident. That 13th Street property, wasn't that originally a care home?
It was at one time operated as a care home. I don't think it was originally constructed. It may have been a single family when it was originally constructed, but.
I mean, it's so big that And has the zoning changed from whatever zoning a care home gets to residential?
Well, the zoning is R16, and it was most recently used as a single family, so, that's the conforming or the principally permitted use is single family. So to operate as a care home again would require a special permit. But yes, I don't know the exact history of that care home, but it definitely was, in recent memory, used as a care home.
So a fourplex is better than a care home? Is that what we're getting at here?
No, I don't think that's the assumption. I think right now we have this proposed use as a multifamily, a fourplex.
Okay, thank you.
It's because that's what the property owners has asked for, not because one is better than the other.
I didn't get a vote.
Anyone else from the public?
Yeah, the
All right.
applicant wasn't able to be here. He did go to the planning commission meeting and speak in support, obviously, for the project.
Okay. So seeing none, we'll close public comment. Does anyone from the council have any further questions? All right. Somebody want to make the first motion?
Sure. Nobody else does. We got to move this along. I'll move to amend the general land use map from the residential low RL to residential medium RM by adopting Resolution 2022-13, read by title only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Buffy?
Resolution 2022-13, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Fortuna amending the general plan land use map from residential low to residential medium. Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Losi?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Long?
Yes. All right, the second one?
I'll motion to amend the Fortuna zoning map with residential single-family R16 to residential multifamily RM by holding the first reading of ordinance 2022-754, read by title only, and continue the public hearing to Monday, May 16th, 2022 for the second reading.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Buffy?
Ordinance 2022-754, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fortuna amending the Fortuna zoning map from residential single-family R-1-6 to residential multifamily R-M. Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Losi?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent?
Yes.
Mayor Long?
Yes. All right, thank you. Moving on to city manager's report. Merritt?
Thank you, Mayor Long. We have a lot of meetings coming up, and so I wanted to put a graphic up. There's a number of meetings. So let me get to the right page here. So the next meeting that we have after tonight is on May 12th, and that'll be a joint city council FBID meeting at 8:30 a.m., and that'll be in the council chambers next week, May 12th. Then on May 16th, we have two meetings. One of them will be a special budget meeting. That'll be at 9 a.m. And then that evening, we also have a regular council meeting at 6 p.m. On May 23rd, we also have a special budget meeting. So